please. You got the 1 T? Hello, sir. Does this not want to go? There we go. Good to see you, bud. Oh, I think the crowd swallowed up Tommy. He was right behind him. No, he's right there.
I think Facebook failed.
Facebook failed?
Should I remove Facebook and then re-add it? That's what it's saying. I should try.
Yes.
All right.
We're good. We got time. And Television's Rob Brooks is here, too. Very good.
All right. Someone able to check Facebook? I think we're okay now. Oh my God! It says can hear faintly Alex on live stream.
How you doing? What does it say?
Kevin just said they can hear me faintly on live stream. How is that possible?
Thank you.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Spring Training Live, presented by Toyota. Yeah, we're here at Baycare Ballpark, out near the Frenchie's Tiki Bar, along with Jim Salisbury and Ben Davis. I'm Tom McCarthy. Happy to be with you. So we're out here after the Phils lost 1-0 today, but Taijuan Walker pitched extremely well. We are 11 days away from spring training coming to a close and opening day coming up at Citizens Bank Park. Dudes, Jimmy, welcome back to the NBC Sports Philadelphia family.
Prodigal son.
Yeah. Were you a world traveler? Did you get a new job? Did you learn a new craft while you were gone?
I took some ballet.
Oh, did you really? At some point, we'll probably let you do a little ballet as we go forward, if that's okay. Jim, just so you know, here in Video Land, you got to make sure your headset's straight before you go on. We love Jim Salisbury. We're happy he's back with us.
I have a face for a keyboard.
He and Cole Weintraub will be covering the Phillies all season long, along with Spencer McCarthy, the Cobra, who is in the crowd. He's got the NBC Sports Philadelphia blue golf shirt and the cool Spring Training Fanatics hat. Ben, you got your chair, your knees okay? Everything's good?
As long as I keep it somewhat straight, yes. I'm good.
Well, we're going to take some questions today, but we'll get things started. All right, I'll ask both of you. Ben, you've been here for a couple of days. Eye-opening stuff so far. What stood out to you so far?
I think the pitching, most importantly, the bullpen. I mean, the starters have looked good, but the arms coming out of this bullpen right now are something else.
They are.
You know, they have the ability to pitch a contact when they need it. They also have the ability to strike you out, and I think that's going to bode well for the Phils this season.
Jimmy, beyond the gentleman having the two beers in his hand to your left, what else has impressed you so far today?
So far over the course
of spring, yeah.
I really like the way Alec Boehm has swung the bat. I like the way Bryson Stott has swung the bat. That adjustment he made mid-season last year carried him through a really good second half, and it looks like he is building that. And I think Kyle Backus, the side-arming lefty.
Yeah, he's good, folks. Just so you know, he's really good.
Very intriguing trade, and I see him being an intriguing piece of this bullpen. So, those are three things I think that jump out at me a little bit.
Yeah, and I know for a lot of folks that are here, even though you're really enjoying Baycare Ballpark, right? Yeah. We'll get some of the guys back after the World Baseball Classic, like Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber and Keller, people like that. Christopher Sanchez is not going to pitch anymore in the World Baseball Classic, but he is still with his team and hoping that they get to the championship. So we'll have more on that stuff moving on. All right, Spencer is standing by, guys, with our first question of the day.
Hey, guys. Good to see you, everybody.
Spencer, always great to see you.
You're the best.
The Cobra.
And Ben. Press that like, buddy. I'm here with Logan from Delaware, and she has a very interesting fire question immediately.
Okay.
Hi. So I want to know, Stubbs, is he going to make the team playing anything other than catcher?
All right. What do you think, Ben? I mean, we didn't see he plays out in left field today for him.
Yeah, he played out in left field. They said he's even going to take some ground balls. So that if he does, it's definitely going to add some versatility to Rob Thompson. And, we'll see what happens. But I think that the possibilities, I don't know what they're going to do. But maybe they want a different bat coming off the bench because, Rafael Marchand, I think, did a great job last year. Stubbs would do a great job as well. I just don't know where they're going to go with that. But I think, the more positions he plays, the more versatility he's going to add.
All right, Jimmy, what do you think?
Well, I've heard the chatter that they might go with a third catcher. I kind of think that's a long shot. But Stubbs has played a little left field when he was in Houston a few years ago. If he can show some versatility, maybe he gets into consideration for that final bench job. I think they'll go, 4 bench guys. The way I see the bench, you probably got Sosa, you got a backup catcher. Who am I missing? You got
an outfielder.
Probably maybe an Otto Kemp, and maybe
and one more outfielder.
Maybe Dylan Moore. They like the versatility he brings, but. We got a week left, and a lot can happen in a week. It's just so I'm not sure which way they're going to go. But this is an organization at the top. They don't have a ton of catching depth, so whatever you do, you want to try to make sure you hang on to Stubbs or Marchand because neither one they're both out of options.
And we all know everybody. We love Garrett Stubbs as the person as well, right? I mean, he's got his vibe check is always on point. There's no doubt about that. All right, Spencer has another question again. Our show is sponsored by Toyota. Our questions are sponsored by Toyota. We love ourselves some Toyota. Spencer?
That we do, Tommy. I'm here with Jen from South Jersey, and another fan favorite. She has a question about him.
And Mundo Sosa, what do you think his role is going to be coming into this season, or if it's going to be any different from last season?
I think it's going to be the same, but I also think that he's on the uptick on a lot of different levels. First of all, he continues to get more and more comfortable with what his role is, who he is, how he plays. And I think he could be in line to be one of the best utility players in all of Major League Baseball.
I think he is.
Oh, I think he is, yeah.
I think he's a super sub to the point where, Bryson Stott, he swung it really well the last 2 months last year. He does not want to be a platoon player. He wants to play every day. And, I think they would maybe be intrigued by that idea. Sosa is so good and, gives them so much energy when you play him. And he's such a good stick when you play him that they almost have no choice but to get him in that lineup occasionally and have that platoon, even maybe when Stott is, not deserving of being in it, deserving of more playing time. So Sosa's going to be on the roster, and he's a very, very important guy for all the things he can do, the energy he brings, the defense he brings, and the instant offense he brings when you sprinkle him in there.
Got somebody photobombing behind us, Jimmy. You may want to smile because we're getting a photo. He's just trying to get on TV. Go ahead. What do you got? All right. For his wife, Debbie. Here we go. Ready? Ben, smile. All right. Cool. This photo is also sponsored by Toyota. All right, Spencer, what's your next question?
You're the best, man. You're the best. I'm here with a local, Shannon from St. Petersburg, and she has a question that was kind of the big all-season topic all season.
Bryce Harper's biggest fan here. I personally think he's the best player in baseball, but I'm curious what you guys think he needs to do to be elite this season.
Well, my feeling is I never worry about Bryce Harper. I really don't. I know that there was a lot of talk about that, but I never worry about him. I actually think that this is going to be a big year for him. I think he's going to take that, even though he says it doesn't affect him, and I think he's going to use it to his advantage. I really never worry about Bryce. I don't know how you guys feel.
No, if he's healthy, he's going to put up big numbers.
Yeah.
And I think that was an issue last year. He played with that sore wrist, but he is, to me, an elite talent when he's healthy. So he just needs good health, and don't expand the strike zone. If they're not going to pitch to you, take your walk and let the next guy do it, and wait till they put it in the box and drive it.
Which is a goal for him. He has said that he is trying to be a little more selective when it comes to the strike zone.
Yeah, I think that would do him a lot. It would behoove him to do that, and also I agree with Jimmy. If he can stay healthy, he's going to put up big numbers. That's the bottom line, because it's still in there. It's not like he's an old man by any stretch. But if he stays healthy and stays on the field, he's going to put up big numbers. And I think he's poised to have one of those bounce-back years where he just lights the world on fire and carries the team for a month or two.
All right, Spencer, what do you got, buddy?
Let's just keep rolling in here, Tom. I'm here with Brian from Virginia Beach, and obviously it's a new look outfield for this season, so here's a question about that.
So barring any injuries, what do y'all expect the ideal outfield to be and the outfield usage in the middle of the summer?
All right, Ben, what do you think?
Well, I think you're going to see Marsh in left and Crawford in center, and then Garcia in right. I think that they might get a day off every now and again, depending on what lefty they'll be facing. But I think Garcia, he's another guy that has something. He's got something left in there, and I think he wants to prove everybody that the last couple of years haven't gone great for him, but he's got a lot left in the tank, and that's something I think that's I think it's going to help the Phillies out tremendously. I was telling the guys, I said on the broadcast today, first and foremost, I'd love to see that guy run the football about 35 times a game, because nobody going to tackle him. He is one giant muscle.
Yeah. What do you think there, Jimmy?
Well, they need him to have a bounce-back year. He had that huge year in 23 with Texas. This is a lineup that could use right-handed power, and this is a good ballpark for a player to bounce back in. So conceivably it could be a really good pickup. And, the rest, I think Otto Kemp's going to get some looks as a potential platoon candidate with Brandon Marsh. And, to me, very intriguing storyline is Justin Crawford, going to be the youngest Phillies opening day starting position player since Scott Rowland in 1997. And he's had especially early, had a really good spring. I watch him run, and I watch him cover ground, and I see him slash and use his wheels, and I just wonder, I'm not one to throw around names, but I wonder if he can be maybe a little bit of a Willie McGee.
Well, that wouldn't be a bad thing. Is a little bit of a Willie McGee. It'd be a great thing to be.
Give him some time, but
yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think give him some time. I think that's a really big deal.
Willie McGee was a guy who hit the ball on the ground and ran like heck. I know the game has changed because they had a lot of turf in his day and age, but that's when I look at him, I think maybe.
How about maybe like a Juan Pierre? I'd
I
sign
think
up.
he hits
More
it a little
pop.
harder
Yeah,
than
more
Juan,
pop.
Juan Pierre. But if you're Juan Pierre, I'll take that.
I'll tell you,
I'll take that
back
any
to
day
ball
of the week.
skills for him. I think that's really what stood out to me. Spencer, what do you have, pal?
I was a big Juan Pierre guy.
Were you?
Yeah, he's a legend. I'm here with Bruce from Ben Salem. He has a question about the start.
The Owls, Ben Salem Owls.
Yes, I'd like to get your opinion, fellas, on how the starting rotation is going to be, like who's going to be first and second and so forth.
Well, I think to start the year, it'll be Sanchez who will be first. I think he's earned it. What do you think about that, Jimmy?
Agree.
Yep. And I think from there, I think it depends. Do they want to go lefty-lefty, or do they want to split up the left-handers? I mean, last year they kind of went back and forth whether they had three left-handers, whether they want to split up those left-handers.
Yeah, I think they most likely will split up the left-handers, but you never know what Topper has in mind. But I think Sanchez, Luzardo, Nola, and then Walker, and then Painter. I think they put Painter in that 5 slot just because of his age and doesn't have that the big league experience yet.
Really good staff for Andrew Painter. He'll turn 23 on April 10th. It's a great staff for him to break in on because he's a young guy, going to be a rookie, and there's so much veteran know-how and veteran experience in this rotation where I think it just eases pressure on him. And I think you can perform better when you don't put pressure on yourself.
Let me ask you how you guys felt watching him. I think he's been composed. I think he's been relaxed. I think there's been a lot of positive with what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, we had the game 2 days ago when he pitched. I think maybe tired a little bit later on in that ball game, but stuff from
don't we all?
Purely from a stuff wise. I mean, this guy's got the goods, and he's a monster of a man. He's 6'7", and it's free and easy. There doesn't look like there's a whole lot of effort there, and the ball just explodes out of his hand. So I know the velocity isn't where we thought it would be, but I'm not really worried about that. He's got the other stuff to 95 to 97 is enough.
Jimmy, monster of a man from a 6'5" man.
Yeah, he is 6'7". Big boy. He can bring it, though. 97 is still a good fastball. Yeah. I mean, I remember when I first started covering baseball, like 89 was an average Major League fastball. I think it's 94 now. So, we've been waiting for this guy for a few years and really excited to see it finally happen. I know he's excited to see it finally happen. And when I look at him on the mound, I look at his mound presence and the way he carries himself, I think big leaguer.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what he's got. In that, I agree with Ben. I would put him in that number 5 hole and just say, be yourself. Be yourself. And that should be good enough.
All right, Spencer, let's go back to you, buddy.
Let's just keep rolling in, T-Mac. I'm here with Ryan from
Dallas.
Oh, Dallas, Georgia, or Dallas, Texas?
My father is from Tacony.
Oh,
so
Tacony.
I'm born into it. Day one, no problems here.
But a Phillies fan.
Of course.
I love it. What's your question?
I wanted to ask you, JT has been a pillar of this organization for many, many years now. We finally extended him in the offseason. He's going to be here for a few more years, thank God. And I want to ask how you think he's been a mentor to the younger guys like Stubbs and Marchand, and how he's guided this team and the catcher's crew.
Yeah, well, you talk about that, Ben, being a catcher. I think we have seen it through the meetings that they've had. Listen, Spencer, progress. We got production going on here. You got to get out of the way here. All right, Ben, what do you got?
Well, the thing is, a lot of folks, I'm not saying you, but some folks in general, they think these players show up to the field at 6:30, put their uniform on, and go out and play at 7:05. Yeah. These guys are so prepared. The access that they have to different things, videos and scouting reports and all those things. JT takes his job as serious as anybody. And Rob Thompson said last year he's never seen a catcher more prepared than JT Realmuto. That proves dividends. These pitchers put so much trust in him. They believe in what the fingers that he's putting down. And they have a really good rapport with each other. And I think that Marchand we heard Taiwan, he was on the broadcast with us today. Taiwan said that how prepared Marchand is because of JT and how he goes about his business. He learns a lot from JT. And Garrett Stubbs the same way. These guys they really do prepare. They put a lot of pride in their talents and their efforts, and it shows on the field. And I think it really helps with the pitching staff, obviously.
Yeah, it's gone a long way for him to be signed, because I think if he wasn't here, not that Marchand cannot fill the shoes defensively, but I think the Phillies would be searching a little bit about how would it feel.
And he's a mentor not just to the catchers. I mean, like Ben said, all the pitchers look up to him. You got a great pitcher like Zach Wheeler who never shakes him off, just follows the game plan. Let's JT decide the game plan and follows along with it. I've been covering the Phillies since 1994, and I can tell you this. I don't know if I've ever seen a more respected teammate in a clubhouse. Every guy in there respects the heck out of JT Realmuto. His word is gold. They admire the work ethic, the character, everything about him, the toughness. I mean, how many foul tips does this guy take? And he just keeps on ticking. His toughness is unbelievable. I don't know if he'll ever go this way because, who knows? I know he's got a young family, but when he's done playing,
he'd be a heck of a coach.
Be a heck of a manager.
Heck of a manager, yeah. I agree with that. All right, Ryan, thank you for the question. Spencer has an online question that he's going to present.
And Tom, I know this is the Phillies live Q&A, but Dallas Goedert is returning on a 1-year deal.
Oh, so Dallas Goedert.
Breaking news. But yeah, keep the questions coming online. We see them. We appreciate them. This one's from EJ, and he wants to know about Aiden Miller. When do you think we'll expect Aiden Miller to come up, and what kind of role do you think he'll play, even in the short term?
Well, I think the biggest thing is getting him healthy. That's from what everybody has talked about. He's been checked out by a couple of different doctors. He is back here in Philadelphia. He was reassigned to the minor league camp, and I think it's just making sure he's healthy. And once he's on the field, I think it's just his productivity, but also need more than anything else. I don't know what you think, Jim.
It would have to be need-based, and he'd have to be healthy. And he hasn't, played down here in Grapefruit League. So I don't even know if there is a timetable. First thing he needs to do is get healthy so he can get back on the field and get ready for his season in the minor leagues. We don't know when that season is going to begin because he has not been healthy. It was going to be kind of an exciting little storyline to see him get some time here in the Grapefruit League. It hasn't happened, but I will remind you, they got a pretty good third baseman.
He's having a great spring, too.
He's having a great spring. And Alec Boehm, I think, is an underappreciated talent on this team. His improvement defensively has been outstanding. I think a lot of folks say, well, he's not the prototypical cleanup hitter because he doesn't hit it over the left field wall, 4 times a week. Well, guess what? He's a pretty good hitter. He had a rib injury and a shoulder injury last year. I think we might see some real big numbers for him with a return to health this year as he, is motivated by free agency next year. So let's not be pushing Alec Boehm out the door, too quickly for a kid who hasn't even played yet. I know he's a hell of a prospect, and I'm looking forward to seeing the guy too. But what they have right now, I'll go to war with that.
All right, Spencer, we'll go back to you for another question on sites.
Yeah, we got Nolan here from Hilltown. I know we talked about the outfield, but he has a question about the newest addition to that outfield.
First off, big fan of you guys. Love what you guys are doing with the Phillies.
Thank you, Nolan.
My question is, what are your guys' expectations out of Adolis Garcia, and what type of role do you think he'll provide in the clubhouse?
Well, already he's provided, I think, some great energy in the clubhouse, which was already, and folks, I know we've talked about this before, this clubhouse is unbelievable as far as their personalities go, their relationships with each other, and I think that's half the battle. But he fits in really well. He's best friends with Edmundo Sosa. And as Rob Thompson has told us, if you're best friends with Edmundo Sosa, then you're a really good guy. But I think... I hate to say that it's a flyer for $10 million, but they signed Max Kepler for $10 million last year. I think Adolis Garcia will be better than Max Kepler will be. Max was great defensively in left field, didn't live up to the offensive part of it, but I thought he was great defensively in left field. I think Adolis will probably supersede the offensive numbers, and who knows where he'll wind up batting in this order. I think it was a good signing on his part. So thanks for that question. We appreciate it. Guys, we're 11 days from opening day. What about the division itself? What do you think about the Braves and the Mets? Not this Braves team that was here today, but the Braves and the Mets, because they seem to be the teams the Phillies will have to battle for the division.
Yeah, obviously the Mets have the big payroll, and they signed a lot of guys. Obviously signing Bichette is going to hurt the Phillies. He's one heck of a player, but I just look at I don't know how the rotation is going to be. I think the rotation started off so well last season and didn't really live out throughout the rest of the course of it. But obviously, I think the Mets would be the team to beat. If this Braves team stays healthy, which they haven't been able to do last couple of seasons, I think that's something that the Phillies could be worried about because they have some perennial all-stars on that ball club, and we'll see what happens there. But I think the Nats, they have some guys that they're up and coming, but I don't think you have to worry too much about the Marlins.
Not yet, no.
But
they can pitch a little bit.
Yeah, they've got a couple decent arms, but I would say it's going to go down probably to be Phil's and the Mets.
Yeah, and I think the Braves healthy can be dangerous. But the Mets, their lineup is very good, and the Peralta pickup is going to really help them. So I see it being a 3-team race. You can't just throw your glove on the field and win.
Well, I think all three are going to make the postseason.
Yeah, and I think one of the things the Phillies have to guard against, and I think as fans and as writers and reporters and media, we have to guard against they have such a big payroll and they have a great track record and they've been to the postseason 4 years in a row, and we all can't wait for October. That's going to be the month that defines the Phillies, but you can't forget the 6 months there that you need to take care of business in. So it's not just wake me up when September ends. You're going to take care of these 6 months, and the Phillies need to guard against that. And everything I've been able to gather out of the clubhouse is they are very focused on having a good 6 months.
All right, Spencer, you have an online question available?
Tom, yeah, we are back on the online questions. Keep them coming in, too. We see them all. We have Al Gebhardt asking about another new addition. He wants to know what Brad Keller's role in this bullpen could be in 2026.
I think it's going to be one of the more important roles in the bullpen because he can go 2 innings if he has to, or more than 1 inning at least. And I think they can throw him at any point in a high-leverage situation. They have a lot of high-leverage guys with Jose Alvarado. We talked about Backus. We talked about some of the other guys that they have in the bullpen. I think he can do a lot. I think he's like a Swiss Army knife in the bullpen. And I think you need that in this day and age. I mean, you think you need a guy that's going to have the ability to keep the ball in the ballpark as well. And I think he's really turned into a good relief pitcher.
I would agree with that.
7th and 8th inning?
Yeah.
Maybe depending on the matchups. So I think him and Alvarado can be a really good setup tandem for which the guy should be one of the top 2 or 3 closers in baseball.
And I think he's going to have to play a big role even tonight when the United States plays in the World Baseball Classic. Spencer, we'll go back to you for another question on sites.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that World Baseball Classic game between the United States and the Dominican Republic tonight. I'm here with Jason from Wilkes-Barre. He has a two-part question. One that I think, Tom, you might like it.
All right, cool.
Tom, I was told in line at the Fanatic store over there that you and I look a lot alike. I'm not sure how the panel feels about that.
Let me see.
And secondly, the clubhouse vibe. There's a lot of rumors about guys that were shipped out compared to guys that were brought in. How does that figure into this year's model?
Well, I think this clubhouse has always been good. I really do. I think they manage themselves, and I think Rob is a really good manager of people, of players itself. I think that they have added guys that will enhance the clubhouse a little bit more on the long term. And, I'm looking forward to seeing. The great thing about Schwarber and Harper and Real Mutual and those guys, they welcome people in, whether it be young players or new players, and I think that goes a long way. Now, let me take your hat off. Let me see what you look like there. I would love to have that lock of hair. I mean, seriously.
The guy saw me with my hat on, so I don't know. Hey, I'll take your glasses off. 2 handsome guys?
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. Man, I'd love to have a little bit. Jimmy, I'd love to have a little bit of that hair.
Hey,
He's got new clippers.
I did. I bought new clippers, everybody. My hair is going to look tight this year.
They get ways to do that nowadays.
What's that?
Put hair in. Put some plugs in.
Put some plugs. All right, Spencer, please take us out of the hair business.
I'm going to be right there with you shortly, man. I'm here with Mike from Levittown. He has a 2-parter. And the first question is maybe the biggest storyline over the last 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, number one, Ben, you're a beast, man. Chainsaw to the leg, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
I feel fine. But thank you for asking.
You're absolutely
I just got to keep it a little straight. I can't bend it all the way yet.
Wish you a speedy recovery
Thank
on that. The other question I have is, being a Phillies fan for God knows my entire life, 45 years, our biggest issue over the last couple of years has been contact hitting. Once we really didn't see that last year. How imperative is it that Bryson Stott gets back to what he did 2 seasons ago and 3 seasons ago when we actually made runs into the playoffs?
I think it's huge, and Tom's heard me say this a gazillion times. But you have a team that hits the ball out of the ballpark a lot, which the Phillies do, and that's great when they're hitting balls out of the ballpark. I equate them to the 3-point shooting basketball team. If those threes are going down, that's great. It's awesome. But if they're not, you have to find other ways to score. Backdoor picks, things of that nature. Move without the ball. But this team, if they're not hitting homers, they have to find other ways to score. I think something like Stott, the advancements he made in the second half last year, I think the addition of Crawford, guys that can get on base, maybe steal a base here or there, utilize that speed that they have. I think it's going to help them out tremendously. But the reason the Phillies haven't won the playoffs the last 4 seasons is because of the offense. You can say whatever you want about pitching and throwing balls away or whatever. That's not why they lost. They lost that game last year to the Dodgers because they scored they had 4 hits in 11 innings. So that's not going to get the job done. So, if they can put some more runs on the board and find other ways to score, I think that, this team is poised to make another big run. I feel it.
I believe Crawford's going to help that too because of the contact. That's my feeling. The contact at the bottom of the order and getting on base.
And contact is huge in October.
Mm-hmm.
You look at a lot of these teams who succeed in October, they're putting the ball in play, not striking out a ton. The game kind of changes a little bit in the month of October, and we expect this team to be there. And like I said, it's the month that's going to define this team. They need to get there and play well in October so they're not going home early. And putting the ball in play and not striking out is a big part of that. Hitting with runners in scoring position is a big part of that. And you asked about Stott, and I think something clicked in him last year. He worked with hitting coach Kevin Long, and Kevin Long told the story that, he sat Bryson Stott down and said, hey, do you want to hit 230 your whole life? And Stott said no. So they worked on these adjustments. They brought the hands down. He was more direct to the ball, more of a line drive approach. Stopped lifting the ball to the opposite field. And he did in the final. Look at his numbers in the last 2 months. They were outstanding. So if he's that guy, that's going to help him. It's going to help the team. It's going to help the overall contact.
All right. Spencer, you got another question, bud?
Yep, we do, Tom. And speaking of the offense, Mike from King of Prussia here is right on that same line.
All right, Mike.
Hi, guys. Follow up on that last question. What do you think the lineup's going to be, batting order's going to be? And is the WBC hurting Thompson from getting it set?
I don't think it's hurting him from getting it set. I think he wants to set his eyes, though, on some of those guys in the last week of spring training. Jimmy, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it's hurting them. These guys, they can adapt, and if you go out and have one good game, everybody feels good about themselves and the way the lineup feels, and that's the way ball players are. The confidence can be built very quickly. As far as the lineup, I think they're going to lead off Turner and then maybe go Harper second, Schwarber third.
I believe that too. And then I think 4 will be Bowman to start the season.
For the reasons that he doesn't strike out a ton. If by chance Garcia can be the 23 Garcia and at some point migrate into that 4-hole, bring a right-handed power bat behind Schwarber, that would be outstanding. But I think out of the gate probably Bowman 4.
I would agree with that.
I would say Bowman 4, and I think that toward the bottom you're going to see some interesting interchanging because I think Crawford will bat ninth, but you can't stack those 3 lefties. Let's say if it's Marsh, Stott, and Crawford, so you're going to have to break it up with maybe JT lower in the lineup than maybe you anticipated going into the season. Spence, back to you, bud.
Right back at him, Tom, and I'm here with Tim, great first name by the way, who's from Philadelphia. He has a question for you guys.
All right, I'm the guy with the 2 beers, first of all.
Two-fisted.
And I just want to ask about Kirkling. What do you think about his confidence and what's going on with this year?
Well, I actually talked to him a bunch of times. I know Jimmy's talked to him as well. He seems in a good spot. He really does. Through yesterday, and I think he's going to be back. And I think as an athlete, you have to rebound.
You have to. And the thing is, he's got the stuff to do it. I think, mentally that could probably wear on a player. But I think, through his support system and meaning that clubhouse and his coaching staff, I think that's going to carry him a long way because these guys fight for each other like you wouldn't believe. So I think that's going to help him out. And I think, hopefully he can just turn the page. Is it unfortunate that it happened? Yes, we understand that. But I think, he's another big piece of this bullpen, and I think these guys rely on him.
All right,
and I think the folks here are going to be a big part of it because I
do agree that Phillies fans are going to be a big part of it.
I fully expect a standing ovation on opening day, and that's going to make the kid feel like $1 million and go out and have a good outing, and that confidence will come.
He's got good
it's a
stuff.
New season.
He's got really good stuff, and I think they need him to be successful. Spencer?
I can't wait for that standing ovation. It's going to be beautiful. And shout out to everybody here. The crowd is fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So far. You guys are fantastic. I'm here with Sean from Philly, who has a question about the ABS system.
ABS, okay.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, how you think that's going to affect the game, timing-wise, pitching-wise, catching-wise, and the stakes on that.
All right, Ben, what do you think as a catcher?
Well, I think the catchers are going to call most of them. I think it's going to be great for the game. I think, leaving it up to the catcher is probably the most wise decision to make. But obviously there might be a pitcher or two that feel it or a hitter or two. But I just want to make sure, especially early in the ball game, that you are right. You got to make sure you're right. But, we've witnessed it. It only takes a couple seconds. So if it's going to help the game, and I think it's going to help the game, then I'm all for it.
I like it, too. And I can't wait until, a game ends with the tap of a head and a review and the crowd going nuts, and it's going to be fun.
It's going to happen.
All right, it's time for our Toyota RAV4 Things to Know. Jim Salisbury, give us our RAV4 Things to Know.
Yeah, I'm going to give you 4 things that I'm going to be looking for this season. And, number one, I'm curious to see how Bryce Harper bounces back from a very good season last year, but not a typical Bryce Harper season. And I think you can attribute a lot of that to the fact that he was banged up a little bit with that wrist. Kind of, early in camp here before he disappeared for the World Baseball Classic, I think you could see a little spring in his step and a little quiet motivation to go out there and have a big one. And they need him to have a big one. I think this team could do great things if he could be like a top 5 finisher in the MVP race, and I certainly wouldn't rule that out. Next thing I'm looking for is Alec Boehm, free agent year. He's been a human trade rumor the last couple winters, and he's a very mentally resilient guy. Grown up a lot over the last handful of years, and the trade rumors really don't bother him. He shrugs and says, "I'm here," and he seems focused on having a really big season. Number 3, I'm very curious when Zach Wheeler is going to make his season debut. I think he's well ahead of the game down here, looking good. And he looks happy. He looks like he feels good, in a good spot. I think if he wasn't feeling good physically, he probably wouldn't be smiling as much as he is, but he's smiling a lot. I think he can't wait to get going. I would take it easy with him. I wouldn't rush him. Maybe, wait. They're going to open up in some cold weather, and then they have a cold weather stop in San Francisco and Chicago. But maybe late April, you get him on the mound, and, this guy is hungry after missing the final 2 months last year, missing out October, and I think he's going to make a push for the Cy Young. And the fourth thing I'm looking for in the RAV4 things to watch, four things to watch, it's all about winning. They got to win a World Series here.
Yeah.
High payroll, great track records, but the team is getting a little older, and they know that. They've been to the postseason 4 years in a row. The last 3 have been very disappointing exits, and I think that fuels this team's resolve. And when you have the personnel and the payroll that these guys have, it becomes all about winning a championship and all about winning in October, and they can't wait to get back there. So to me, it's all about how it ends and if this is the year they have a parade. So that's the number one thing that I'm looking for.
All right, Jimmy. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate it. Ben, your hair's doing a great job in this win, by the way.
Thank you.
Yep.
Put extra lotion in it.
That's right, Spencer. Speaking of great hair, you got somebody who's hanging. He's got his is hanging on. Go to him, buddy.
Lotion, Ben?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I like that. Great job, Jimmy, too. That was great. I'm here from Michael from Villanova. Go Cats. He's got a question about another. Oh boy, sorry. About another new addition to this team, who maybe a little slept on.
I just had a question about Don Mattingly. What do you think he will bring to the team, and what enhancements do you think he'll give to Rob Thompson in the dugout?
Well, I think presence. Major league manager who understands the situation, manager of the year at one point. He's already had an effect on the defensive part of the game from a first base standpoint. We watched him today talking to Otto Kemp for a long time in the dugout about a play that he made cleanly, but just kind of going over those nuances. I think he's just been around. He's just another voice and somebody from the outside that may look at it a little differently. I'm not sure what you guys think.
Yeah, he was, he was one of those players that I talked to Tom the other day about. If there's one player, If there's one player I would have loved to have seen stay healthy for their entire career, it would be Don Mattingly, because he was one of the most elite players of a generation. I mean, that's how good this guy was. And sometimes there's that carryover to relaying the game to other people. It doesn't translate because they were so good at it. They don't know how to relay it to, common people, mere mortals. But he has that way. He has the calming presence. He has the wherewithal, the knowledge to pass it on and put it into different ways that guys can understand and learn from and get better at. So he's going to be great for this ball club. I know it. He and obviously Rob Thompson have a relationship from being with the Yankees. But he's going to be a great addition to this ball club. And guys are going to learn a lot and get better just being around him every day.
I think it's a good pickup. It really is. Spencer's got another online question.
We're back here on the online questions. Another question from Al. He's asking great questions. And obviously the big news that came out this week, Chase Utley going to the Phillies Wall of Fame. Al wants to know, who do you think is going to be next? Obviously, Cole, Ryan, those guys, maybe some of the 08 team. What do you guys think?
First and foremost, the cricket guy today, the ball he threw on the first pitch. Did everybody see that? Did you guys see that throw?
What a whip.
Was that impressive, what he threw today?
Whip.
Woof.
It's unbelievable.
All right, Jimmy, what do you think? Who's next?
I think the next two probably will be Ryan Howard and Cole Hamels.
Yes.
And that would so they have 3 from the 08 team in. Pat Burrow went in very quickly, and then Jimmy Rollins last year, Chase Utley this year. And why not keep the homegrown core going with Ryan Howard, who meant so much to that offense and all that production. His last 6 healthy years before he got hurt, he averaged 44 and 133. That's pretty amazing.
That's unbelievable.
I just never forget those numbers. So I think he'll probably be maybe right around the corner with Cole Hamels, who still amazes me what he did in October of 08 at 24 years old, put a team in a city on its back and drove everybody down Broad Street. So he deserves to go in there as well.
All right. Good question.
I still would like to see Chooch going at some point.
I think he will go in. I think Carlos will go in. I think Shane Victorino will go in. I think Brad Lidge will go in at some point as well.
Lidge should go in.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many guys on that team that you can pluck and probably put into the Phillies Wall of Fame.
No question.
Yeah. Spencer, back to you for another question on site.
Yes, sir, Tom. I'm here with Dan from Bucks County. Another offensive question, but a little spin to it.
Yeah, so you guys had talked earlier about the hitting that they didn't produce last year for the Phillies, and I'm worried about their situational hitting, where we had runners in scoring position with no outs, and we were unable to score. I always believe that the coach usually tells the hitters what to do in those situations. But is it the fact that the hitters are not following the coaching staff, or what's going on there? What kind of improvements do you guys see coming forward this year?
Well, Ben, I think that a lot of times the coach will tell you, but it's up to the player then to put it together.
Without a doubt. And ultimately it is going to fall on the player. You can say whatever you want about Kevin Long and the hitting staff, but they have the right idea. It's just a matter of going up and taking what the pitcher and what the defense is going to give you. And, you know, as Jimmy said earlier, putting balls in play and being better situationally. I think at times last year they were pressing in those situations, man on third, less than 2 outs, putting too much pressure upon themselves, over swinging. So I think that if they can just really calm down, slow the situation down as much as possible, I think they're going to have better results.
Yeah. Well, I mean, excited to see what they do. I mean, because the adjustments, I think the younger players are getting older too. And I think they will make some adjustments as well. By the way, thanks to the staff here at Frenchie's Tiki Bar for staying open as long as they do. They're doing an outstanding job. Is this not a great ballpark or what, folks? I mean, seriously. It is a great place to come to kick off the season every single year. All right, Spencer is standing by. He has one more question. And by the way, we continue to thank our friends at Toyota for their support for this Q&A, for everything they do for the Phillies and NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Tom, and this is a home away from home for everyone down here, and I love it. It's one of the best places in the world. I'm here with Ryan from Doylestown. Ryan, go ahead.
Hi, yeah. So obviously the other day, Andrew Painter had a pretty good day on the mound. I just want to know what your expectations are for him this year.
I'm optimistic that he is going to have himself a very good rookie season in the National League. I think he has a nice umbrella around him where he doesn't have to be the star, and he can evolve the way I think a young pitcher should evolve. I don't think he's going to come up and be Paul Skeens right out of the gate, but I don't think he needs to be Paul Skeens right out of the gate. And I think that's important because I think for him, he needs to, well, first of all, he's got a great personality, and he's got a great determination. So he's comfortable no matter what the situation is. But I think the fact that he has those guys around him really is a good support set. Look what it did to Christopher Sanchez.
Yeah. The other thing is Paul Skeens is a pitcher. Crawford plays the outfield.
Oh, he said, I'm sorry, I thought you said, my bad. I thought you said Andrew Painter. So Crawford? All right, Jimmy, tell us about Crawford.
That's like the old newspaper story about the writer way back when, like in the 50s. The writer from New York comes down to Philadelphia to cover the Army-Navy game, and now he's driving back to New York, and he realizes he had a mistake in his story, so he pulls at a rest stop, and the payphone calls his editor and said, hey, change all the Armies to Navy and all the Navies to Army.
I do think the same thing with Crawford. He's got a nice umbrella around him, and he's going to have himself a good year, a good first year in the National League. All right, that's going to do it for our Q&As. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it very much. But we still have one more piece to our Q&A puzzle. We're sponsored by Toyota, and Spencer had a chance to sit down with the great Paul Muller, the president of the Toyota Group.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Yeah, I got to talk to Paul Muller the other day. Obviously, we want to thank Toyota and the Phillies family as well. Paul, was a great interview. Here it is now. Honored to be joined by Paul Muller, the president of the Toyota Tri-State Dealership Association. Paul, thanks again so much for everything that you do with Toyota and the Phillies. Give fans something to look forward to that is in the works for the Phillies and Toyota this season?
Oh man, we've been doing this with the Phillies for about 30 years, and all the usual things that we have every year: fans feeding families, the coaches clinic, which kids love, our Toyota Tundra food drive that we do with the Phillies, all the things that we do. A lot of philanthropic things, a lot of things around baseball. Some of them are just about philanthropy and taking care of people in the community. But the Phillies are just unbelievably generous, and we love to work with them, and it's been just a wonderful, wonderful arrangement.
And how about the news comes out on Thursday that Chase Utley will be the 51st member of the Toyota Wall of Fame? How cool is that for a guy, the 08 team, legendary guy, but how cool is that to be a part of the Toyota Wall of Fame?
Oh, awesome. I mean, we love sponsoring the Wall of Fame, but Chase is obviously a fan favorite. He happens to be a personal favorite of mine. So it's a great weekend. All the alumni come back, the guys from the 80 team, the 08 team, the 93 team, and a lot of guys all in between. But it's just a great weekend, and having Chase on there just makes it that much more special.
For sure. The Philly season in general, what's your favorite part about it?
It's the start of spring. I mean, the weather's changing, people attitudes change. The best part about it is baseball is an extremely interactive sport. I mean, you're involved in it. It's slow enough that you can talk to the people with you while things are, while the pitcher's winding up and this and that. But it's a wonderful time of year. It's sort of a rebirth of everything. The Phillies this year are going to have I think, a terrific team. So it's just an exciting time of year, and to share it with the Phillies and the fans and the Toyota dealers is just awesome.
I know you mentioned some stuff before. Is there anything to look forward to this upcoming season with Toyota and the Phillies?
Again, the usual stuff. I can't wait for Chase Utley. They have another coaches clinic. We have something with the Phillies. They have something probably every week down at the ballpark, but we do one or two things a month with them, and we engage with them so well, and they engage with the fans. It's just a family kind of an atmosphere, and that's what we want to be involved with.
I know there's high expectations for this team. Where does the season end for the Phillies?
Hopefully somewhere in the World Series.
Let's hope so. Paul, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate you.
Take care.
Yeah.
Well, what a great job by Spencer. And Paul Muller is a part of this family, and he's been a part of our family for a long time. He's a great guy, and we thank the folks at Toyota. Paul is the president of the Toyota Group. Jimmy drives its RAV4. Do you like it?
It's solid. It's got about 93,000 miles on it, so I might have to go visit him again.
All right. Well, he'll be happy to embrace your arrival. All right. That's going to do it for our spring training Q&A. Thank you, everybody. 11 days before the Phillies get underway at Citizens Bank Park. Thanks to Jim Salisbury. Follow him all season long. Thanks to the Cobra, Spencer McCarthy, for getting our questions. You can follow some of his interviews as well. Ben Davis, get healthy. Sheesh. Get somebody else to cut down your trees. I'm Tom McCarthy. So long, everybody.